amazing. It's good to see a smile today.
How are you doing?
I am holding up. Some days are harder than others, but just doing things like this and checking in with people like you with a beautiful soul and spirit, it keeps me going. Because I feel like it takes a village.
It takes a village. It really does.
And so that's where I'm at. I'm like, I just, when I'm starting to feel down and stuff, I'm like, let me get to the village. What's the village doing? What you guys, And so this feeds me. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming here on Sundays with the Cherry on Top. And for those of you guys don't know, Terrence here is an Emmy winner, like myself. We won on the same, yes. We won on the same day. It's been a year now. Yes, and so tell me, before this pandemic hit, what was the year like for you winning, like the ups and downs and the ins and out of it all?
Of winning?
Yes, like since the win, and just describe how you were feeling, just all of whatever comes to mind. But it's been a year, and reflecting back, what's the year been like for you?
The year, you know what? I'm gonna get real deep with you right away.
I love it.
My mother passed, so it was a point where right before I was a little angry. You get mad at the world and you're angry, and I wouldn't put her picture up at all. So it was the week of right before they, the blue ribbon and everything. It was a week before the nominations, and I finally got I was like, okay, I'm going to go buy a nice frame. I want to put my mom's picture up. So the next day I was nominated. So I was like, so it's more about like releasing and allowing things to come to you.
Yes.
While I was the week of film, the Emmys, I was, I'm progressive, so I had to go and do what do you call that thing? Like going out and saying hello, like a meet and greet with them.
Yes.
Then I was filming Bigger for Will Packer and Felicia in Atlanta. So I was on 9 planes that week. So I grabbed 4 a.m. on that Friday, got on the plane at 6, got here at 12, did another audition, got in the car, and my mother was with me. I felt her presence with me the entire time. We got in the car, and I heard her favorite song.
So nice.
Red Corvette by Prince. And then I'm getting there, it was hot that day. So then you won, and I was like, I'm like, somebody black.
Amen. Look at amen. Look, because I was like rooting for all the black. I was rooting for everybody black. So amen.
I was like, oh my God, you look so amazing. And I just remember you were so angelic when you got up there. You were like really shot. So, okay. So we were nominated for like 13 Emmys, I believe. So the categories going and we wasn't winning, and so it came up to me, and I'm like, okay. So people put their phones up, and then we didn't when they put the phones down. Okay. And I heard my mother's voice clear as day. She was like, they about to call your name. And I'm like, what? Sure enough, they called my name. And from that moment on, all I remember is the red carpet. Auditorium. Yeah. And then I remember lights when I stood on the stage. And I was exhausted, tired, happy, crying. It was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on, right?
And I remember holding it. And when he gave it to me, it was heavy. I picked it up. I was like, okay, because I thought a little girl holding it, I'm like, she's 5 there, so it's going to be okay. So I held it, and I'm like, wow, dreams are coming true. And the only thing I remember was, wow, I thought about all the babies in the world that come from places like me. And I'm like, I come from Mississippi, a little town called Cleveland. So I was like, wow, all I can think about is I've done something that now can aspire to do and know they can do from the little town I'm from. And I didn't know anybody in the industry. So then after that, they snatch you backstage, so you're crying and screaming. Then they snatch you backstage. There's 150 more people, lights are flashing.
Yes.
Snatch you. My manager, Caleb was there, and I just remember seeing her because she's like my rib, and I just grabbed her and started crying. And she's like, okay, get it together. Get it together. I was like,
oh my God! For those who are just joining us and watching, Terrence is talking about his win for Giants series. And if you haven't seen it, please go. You can look it up online and check it out. It's beautiful work. He does beautiful, exquisite work. He deserves the win. Best supporting actor in the outstanding digital drama. And deserved. So that's what we were talking about for those coming in. So from Giants series, but he's not only the Giants series. We have Bosch. We have Bigger. We have the First Wives Club. We have the progressive. Guys. You guys can recognize him as a progressive man, the motorcycle man. What is the Minotaur?
The Motor. Here it is.
Oh, the Motor. Okay, yes. So yeah, bring that over to. Oh yeah, I see you. Yes, yeah. Show everybody. Yeah. So Terrence is out here doing big things, and how he's talking about being from a small town. I guess about from the research I did, 500 people.
Yeah.
And so to show you how far one can come, and the one thing I loved learning about you is the work you do with children. Like I love the fact that you write these children books, that you go back into the inner city. Like you guys can head over to his page, you can see the videos. Even after he won the Emmy, he Sankofa, he went back, he reached back and came forward. I mean, it's just this man is beautiful. So tell me about that.
You have to, and like after winning, that next day I was right back on the plane.
Yeah.
Went back and had to film at 8 o'clock in the morning. I landed at 7 a.m. and was right back on set and right back at it. So after winning, that next week I'm a head mentor for Miss Tina. Miss Tina's Angels and Mitchell.
Yeah, and when you're done, I want you to tell me how that happened, how you guys met. But keep going. I was like, that is amazing.
So before this, I wrote a book about depression, Blackie, about me, because we booked these shows, and I remember booking, and I'm always sitting in the trailer. At one point, I was like, "Oh, they picked the wrong guy. And I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to knock on this trailer and tell me no. Mm-hmm. Always, even like not now, but back in the beginning.
Yeah.
That. So I had time before the quarantine. I was already quarantined 3 years ago because I went through depression. So I really dug in deep, and when you have to face yourself, like having a drug problem is one thing, doing other things, but mental health is an entirely different monster, because people can give you tips and whatever, but you have to deal with this 24/7. You have to know how to calm it, how to control it, how to keep power from it, how to take the power from it and manipulate it. Mm-hmm. And so I started to always go and I wrote the book in 45 minutes about just depression and getting, not liking my skin color when I was a child, and realized that was a way for me to release. And so then I started going to the school. My friend Brandon, his mom was a teacher. She was like, "Oh, I want to read the book." So I said, "I'll read it." And I left that day, and I came and read to the kids, and the kids were gravitating. And then the shade room picked it up, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted me to come to the schools. And that literally feeds me more sometimes than actually being on set, because you got these babies and you can see their little futures right above their heads. You can tell what's going on with them. You can tell who's dealing with like sadness, like who feels different, who feels like who's the bully. You can see all this just like over their head. So I was like, what better way than to take this Emmy to the schools? And now I take my Emmy and I let the kids, I say, you may not want to be an actor, you may want to be a doctor, a lawyer, but what I want you to do, this is my dream, so I want you to get my dream, and I'll take and I'll let them touch it. I said, just meditate, hold it for 5 seconds, close your eyes, and wish on it. Wish on my dream. And
I love that.
They go crazy. So yeah, so I love getting.
And so the book Blackie is the one you're talking about that you wrote in 45 minutes. And so tell everyone what that book is about, because I love the fact that you're doing this. Okay, see, that's why I like live. You never know what's going to happen. You're going to get the book. You going to get the book? I love it. That's what I love. I love that we just don't know what's going to happen. So, yes. Yes. Blackie, please tell people about the story behind this, and I get why the kids loved it. You can go, what is it? iamcrowned.com?
iCrownedme.com.
iCrownedme.com. You can go to iCrownedme.com and get the book there.
Yeah, we always wait for people out, especially coming to LA. We always wait for people to give us that yes, and I'm like, no, let's crown ourselves. We ain't got to wait for nobody to tell you that you're special. Do it yourself,
Yeah.
So Black wrote about me. It's a little boy who learns what melanin is and realizes that he's a king, and all kids are special in their own different ways. So Blackie can be the black sheep of the family. It can be, I have friends who are white, say that they're the palest in their family and they get teased. They're just people who have freckles. It's anybody who feels like they don't belong. So Blackie means be loving, adoring, caring, and kind to yourself.
Yes. Okay, be loving, caring, and kind, and adorned.
No.
Yes. I'm like, listen, okay, this is the thing, because it's like I already think you're amazing anyway. But then when I was like researching and going through, because I love learning so much about you, I was like, what don't you do? Because you sing too, and I was like, oh wait, let me find out. Is he a triple threat? Is he gonna be in Hamilton next year? Because he up here, does he dance too? Like, what's going on?
So I can dance too. I was a drum major at HBCU. Shout out to Mississippi Valley State.
Okay, HBCU.
Drum major as well. But I just feel like now, just doing whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? With this life, I want to do, and I will do. No, I will do whatever I want to do, whatever makes me happy. Because I don't know if you experienced this. I'm gonna get real with you. But even with the Emmy, like, oh, it's daytime Emmy. It's not the same thing. And I'm like, okay, well, when you get yours, we don't do a play date.
Listen, okay, because amen, because I loved our conversation, because I went through that too, with the haters and people hating on me, and I was like, but don't you want one in your house though? But you hating on me. Would you turn it down? Would you say no? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where the hate's coming from, because you would be the first one having it in your house and flaunting it around.
And you have to realize that I've learned a long time ago that when people do explode on you, it's not about you. It's about what their insecurities. So I can block it. But at the same time, we're taught to, I'm from Mississippi. So my grandma always told me to be humble, work hard. But there's a humbleness to it. But at the same time, you got to stand in your power and know that I worked my ass off. And I still work my ass off, period. Even when it comes down to giving back. I'm not sitting here, I'm not taking pictures every time I do something. Like, even if it's like donating books or donating 100 something, like, this is real stuff. When you give out, things come back to you. And that's what I love about being around Miss Tina. Miss Tina knows.
Yes, how did that happen? How did you guys meet? I want to start there, because come on, everybody wants to know Miss Tina. So how did that happen?
I love that, Vaughn. Emmy is an Emmy. I like that.
Yes.
Miss Tina, I did Beyonce Run the World. I was extra, background extra. So, I've done it all. So and so I remember.
That should be the name of your next book, From Background Extra to Emmy.
Background, the real story. So it was a day, and I'm doing this because I just built a whole little home gym in the house. So
yeah, I just worked out too.
Yeah, so So it's real. It's real. So I met her maybe 5 years ago in passing, in a sense. I was on Run the World, and Beyonce was there, and Miss Tina was there, and you just saw how she was like taking care of these. She was like, yo, you need water, drink some water. Beyonce was like, no, I'm good. And you saw how hard Beyonce was working, throwing herself around she was working every take, full throttle. And I'm like, she got like 15 albums out. Why is she working this hard? But she's still full throttle every single take. And her dancers, every single take, full throttle. So I see Miss Tina and how she was maneuvering. So years later, cut to 3 years later, and when it's time, it's time. Everybody out here like, oh, let me get a picture. I love taking the energy in. I'm not really about pictures.
I'm that way too. Like, I'm just like, you know what? The time is gonna come, and I'll see you at the right time. I'll see you.
Yes.
I'm the same way.
So years later, 3 years later, before, I don't even know, it probably like 5 to 6 years later, I was filming Unsolved for USA, the Big Tupac story. And Miss Tina is when the hurricane went through Houston. So she was doing this drive. She was like, please drop off cleaning supplies at her husband and her studio, Richard Lawson Studios, in North Hollywood. And I was in Vegas, and I flew back, and I was like, I don't have, because, we be on this set, and we got to wait for them checks. So I was still waiting for that check. But I'm like, I don't have any money to give you for supplies, but what I can do, I can donate some books. So I went up there and I donated books, and remember, she don't know me, I don't know her, but she's sitting in this room by herself, and all these people are just dropping off supplies. And I'm looking, and, I'm like, I just brought books. She was like, oh, okay. And I said, do you need help? And she said, no, I'm fine, baby. She's a Southern woman. She's working. She's picking up boxes. And I'm like, I'm going to stay here and just help you a little bit. And, when you're ready for me to leave, just say. And it ended up me being there for a truck pulled up right away with like boxes. So I'm moving boxes, I'm organizing stuff for her because it's a Virgo thing in me. Everything has to be like, so I'm organizing, making sure she was not working because she was moving boxes by herself.
Wow.
Like, let me help. So I helped her, and then it went from that day. And I said, I'm gonna just check in with you tomorrow to make sure you're good. So I came back the next day, and the next day, and it became like a whole week. Then I ended up coming back, and it's just you're not asking for money, not asking for a picture, just because you see this woman, amazing woman, giving back. So I'm like, let me just help.
Yeah.
Then they had the Wearable Arts Gala, and I wanted to drop off the sheets about my mom. I wanted to.
Oh yeah, so hold that up, hold that up. Talk. I mean, you gotta tell me. Let's take a pause and tell me about that real quick, and then we can go back.
So she was about my mom. After she passed, I read her diary, and I realized that even though we put all this pressure on our parents, like you didn't do this, you weren't there for me, but there are really a lot of kids who grow up and just try to do their best by their kids. They're kids themselves. So I wrote this book, and I split her into 3 characters. And so she's means superheroes every day because women multitask on a different level every day. So I wrote that about her. So I wanted to drop this off to Miss Tina, and I dropped it off, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, where are you leaving?" He said, "What are you doing in next week or whatever?" I was like, "Oh, be around." He said, "Oh, Miss Tina wants you to help with the gala." So I'm like, "Okay." And so right away I'm like, "What do you want me to move?" So I get there, and just being a Virgo, it was pilot season, and that week was busy. But at the same time, they were doing the gala. I wanted to be there to make sure I knew what she needed. So I get there, and I'm thinking I'm just about to be a regular volunteer. And they were like, "No, Miss Tina wants you to be like her assistant that day, just making sure everything flows because she likes how you make everything flow." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So it went from that to me helping with the gala to me running the entire thing, making sure all the volunteers. Then the next, year coming back and helping and doing it and coming back. And now she has Tina's Angels and Richard Warriors, and that's what the benefits of the gala benefits. It helps them help inner city kids. Kip Academy and on Figueroa is one of the big ones that we actually go to, and we have kids there, like 82 students. So she's giving back. She's going to the quote unquote hoods of hoods to give back. And so I'm in there, and next thing you know, I get a call, and she said, "Do you want to be a mentor?" I'm like, "Cool, I'll do it anyway." And Mr. Lawson was like, "Yeah, why not have Terrence? He's doing this anyway." And they're having a meeting with me. Mr. Lawson's talking to me, and like we would love for you to come on. I'm like, "Of course."
I mean, let me say this real quick. This is what's dropping in me, which I think is beautiful. Look how God works, because you writing these books, going to the schools, already talking to the the kids, just doing all these things that you do out of the love of your heart and give it back to the community. And then you see this Black woman doing this work by herself, and you, just who you are like, you know what? I'm not here about trying to elevate myself to be famous. I'm just trying to help this woman who needs these boxes lifted. And you just kept coming back, and then look where it led you. And you end up doing what you were already doing, like already with the kids. Like it was like a no-brainer for them to go, "Oh, he's already doing this," and then you just don't see how God works until you look back. You're like, wow.
So that ended up to now. I've been helping for the last year, and it's always, we don't think we have enough time, but there's always enough time when you're doing the right things.
Yeah.
Going out and making sure we've been on field trips. She takes the kids. We do etiquette classes. She did. We do different. She even took a whole group of them to Ghana last year. So it's a lot of amazing things that she's actually doing to give it back. And if you even do the research, and some of you can't find, but their team, Miss Tina, Mr. Lawson, they do so many amazing things for the community that people will never know because they're not blasting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I like that about them though, and I also like that about her daughter too. Beyonce, and it's like the Jay-Z. Like you'll hear about things 2 or 3 years later, and you're like, "Oh wow!" I like the fact that they just do them and they're not doing it for show, because it's not about that. I mean, there's some people out there who do things for show, but from what you're saying, because obviously I've never met her, the fact that I didn't know she took some kids to Ghana. That is amazing. Yeah, because Ghana is the place where we all need to go. Yeah. We all need to go to Ghana. It's on my list. So she and then when you go, I went to the gala, the first gala I went to, and just hearing about the things that Jay-Z and Beyonce have done and meeting them,
And it was so funny when I first my encounter with her, because I'm trying to get Miss Tina's stuff together. I'm like, come on, we gotta move. So they was upstairs, and I was trying to get Mama Tina down, and Miss Tina was like, okay, we gotta go down this way. But then Beyonce needed to come to do the party line. So she was upstairs when I was like, she needs to be down here. And I'm like, where's Beyonce? Like, oh, she's upstairs. So I run upstairs, and I see this beautiful gold fabric, long, coming out of this hallway. And I run up, and I'm like, yo, Mama waiting for you. And she was like, who was this talking to me? Like, bust out laughing because they knew it wasn't about, oh my God. It was like, yo, Mama waiting for you. She about to leave you. So she laughed, and we ended up making it right on time, and everything worked out. And just finding out, like, they have wells that they have built in Africa to help villages in water. The Be Good Foundation is so amazing. So just to be in there, and in this society, we're always trying to pick up the phone. But to be in that energy with the Magic Johnsons, the Beyonce, the Miss Tinas, Mr. Lawson, and these are our ancestors, our walking legends right now. Just to be in that room with them is a whole nother level. And them to see you and recognize that you're out here working hard as well. And get more respect compared to, I got an Emmy or whatever. When I won the Emmy, Miss Tina, it was the week of the gala, the next week, she was running around telling everybody, like, because I won the Emmy that, what was it, Friday? And then commercial started running that Monday. She was like, oh, let me meet you. Magic, did you meet Terrence? You know, he won an Emmy, and he's the motor. And so she'll pull you like a proud mom. Yeah. So, like, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I have some people like that in my life, too, because when I won, it's like, because the thing is, like, you and I are the same kind of artists where it's activism in our communities or doing things in our community is one of the reasons why I wanted to continue doing these interviews and talk to people who are doing things in the community, because it's very important about the idea of planting seeds. And when I won, but then I was just back in the community planting seeds, doing my thing, being of service, going to my church, helping feeding the hungry, all these different things. And then it's my friends that are like, I'll be in a room and they're like, oh, she won an Emmy. And I'm like, okay, we're not talking about the Emmy right now. Can we just pack this bag? But, I also need to learn how to celebrate myself. I get it. But at the same time, it wasn't at the forefront, It's not at the forefront of my mind. You win the Emmy and you continue, so, your volume.
When you keep moving and people are like, hold on, because people are calling and, oh, Lord Jesus. But anyway, you win the Emmy and like, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be somewhere, and like I said, Miss Tina is pulling me to tell people what I do, and like, oh, he's the motor, he's this, he's that. Just like, but she's proud. She's letting you know that she recognizes you. And she does that even with the kids, they got straight A's. She's proud because she knows she's planting these seeds and it's actually making a difference. So it's an amazing experience, and like I said, just winning an Emmy, and like you always think about, okay, I want to be this, I want to be that, but to be actually be recognized for that, it's a whole other.
It's a whole different level. And then what about for you with the win? Do you feel like so is it easier for you to get indoors, out of doors, or how's it for you on these sets now, Mr. Emmy winner? Like you got your own trailer, and like what's your rider like?
I'm gonna do what my grandma used to child. After I won, I was so tired. I got in the car with my manager. Okay, she drove me home, and she was driving fast. So if she's on here, she knows she drove fast. So I'm like falling asleep, and she literally told me, she said, "Well, Terrence, you got to work harder." And I'm like, okay. And I'm, because that big old box that it comes in down here.
Yeah.
I'm holding that shit. I'm like, okay. But now I get in some rooms and they're like this. Okay, show me why you here. You know what I mean? And then some rooms where they're very gracious, but at the same time, now the day before an audition, I'm getting, it's not 2 or 3 pages no more. It's like 18 pages.
Hello.
I get paid for the audition. Like this is a whole situation. So it's like, it's amazing, but at the same time, it humbles you because at a certain level, nobody likes to rehearse, nobody likes to practice, nobody likes to actually still be in the trenches. And so I have to work even harder because now it's like, okay, well, show me why you want to Emmy. Or,
yeah.
Or I never met you before. Who are you? You know what I mean? So it's like now I have a responsibility, not just because of the interview, but I have a responsibility still to the people out in the community, because now I'm stepping in these bigger rooms and it's like, okay, let me show you that, there's talent out there, undiscovered talent that you guys aren't touching. So let's go ahead and dip in here and pull some of my people out. And like some of the people on the cast, amazing actors. All the people I know, mostly that I interact with, amazing actors, but they just need that one shot. And so it's like, you have a responsibility not just for yourself to be lazy and not look over and not be prepared. You have a responsibility to all your other friends who are still in that same realm trying to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I do.
Yeah, I show up with my ancestors and everybody else behind me.
I'm like all of them. It's like, come on, it's like, so speaking of shot, tell me about being a new face of progressive, because you're like in the family. Sometimes with progressive they'll have like one person, you don't see them again, but like you in the mix.
Yo, so let me tell you, if Jamel is on here, Jamel, my best friend, he will tell you that day for that audition, it was raining in LA, and I hate driving in the rain out here. Cause there's like gremlins. They don't know. They get wet and they go crazy. So I'm sitting up.
Showing your age when you say gremlins. I'm just saying.
Gremlins. You know that movie well.
I mean, you don't look it. I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying. I feel like there's some people out here like, what's gremlins?
Gremlins. Google it. Quarantine. So Google it and watch. It's a good movie. But so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to the audition. This is dumb. What is a motor? I was like, what is this? So I end up going, and it's one of those rooms I didn't, I'm like, it's all the way in Studio City. It's raining, whatever. It's almost 5 o'clock. They want you to come during rush hour. I'm like, so I went there, and here I am thinking like, okay, and automatically I was like, they're not going to pick me. Automatically in my head, I'm going to just go to make a fan. They're not going to pick me. So I had to check that. I'm like, why not? Why not you? So I went in the room and I did my job. And you could always get, the camera guy always gives you like, hold on, sorry. The camera guy always gives you that thing where it's like, okay, you got it. Do this. And I don't even know if you put on do not disturb, is that what you do with your phone? So nobody can call you while you doing this?
No one's calling me.
I'm saying with me, do I put do not disturb? So
you can, yes. I was going to say, you can. Yes. This is why I like live. You just never know what's going to happen. You just go with the flow. It's like, we're going to wait for him to come back. There he is. Okay, there's it. Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Somebody said, I am Steve Jones. I am Steve Jones says airplane mode.
Thank you, Steve.
Because I don't want you freezing on us. We're getting in a good conversation. So we'll see what happens.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, there we go.
We're just gonna go.
I hear you. Okay.
So
okay. That's what I'm saying. It's live. You just go with it.
Steve, it won't work. So I'm like, okay, cool. They're not going to pick me for this. And then the camera guy kept saying, oh, dude, because I went into this voice for some reason. They was like, oh, do this. And I'm like, okay.
You were working the room.
Like something, these worlds for ourselves. I'm like, okay, cool. He explained to me, so I'm like, I think he should talk like this, And I just played. I was in my playground. I'm like, okay, cool. He don't talk like this. He don't sit like this. And so I get a call back, and there's other people in the room. There was one dude that literally looked like he ate motorcycles for a living, or he drank.
Oh my gosh.
I walked in, I said, oh, he gonna book it. Pick him. That's the man. So I get in the room, and you get to the callback, there's always like, okay, well, there's 2 sides, but then there's a possible you may do 3. So I'm okay, cool. So it's my turn. I get in there, and we do 1. And Arnold, he was just so gracious. He gets up and hugs me, and I'm like, hell, what are you doing? And he was like, there was only a few actors that I could pick to come in here, and you were one I had to see. So thank you for blessing me with your presence. This is what the director was saying to me. And there's a room, because it's a callback.
Yeah.
And I'm like, anybody else want to say anything?
Wow.
And start. So we do 1. We do 2. He said, okay, do 3. So I'm like, yes. At least I went to the 3rd. I made it to the next round. Then he said, great, stay right there. Do 4. Do the 5th spot. Do the 6th spot. So I got in there. I think we got up to 11 spots in that room. I was in that room for 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And then he was just like, so I leave and I called my people and I was like, if I didn't book that, I think he owes me dinner because that was...
Because he owes you a check because, people don't realize how hard it is the higher up you go and the level you get to. And when you get to a certain level, to be in a room for 30 minutes and do 11 spots in an audition is stressful, but you just got to stay focused and you like this.
It's like bam, bam, bam. So it's no like, and I feel like with me, it's the best thing because it was no pressure because I'm like, I don't know what the hell's on this paper. This will be my first time, so I'm going to give you what I got. But I did my job. And so I leave. And so, of course, it was, and before this, I was on hold for Toyota, Old Spice, and I got released all from it. And here I am. This is God. I'm like, all I want is one commercial, Lord. Give me one commercial, one national commercial, Lord. And all of them failed. One commercial, I was on hold for Old Spice to be the new Old Spice, whatever it was. And I got called, and they dropped me 15 minutes before I had to go present the book and read to 400 kids. So I was like...
And that's another thing, too, about being an actor. Like, sometimes right before you're going into work or to your other life, you get that rejection call, and you got to hold it together.
And my friend Adrian, he was videotaping. He popped me upside my head, because I'm like, Lord, Jesus. Say, get out, snap out of it, snap out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. Hold on. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get in there, I read, and then I end up booking First Wives. By the time I left that reading, they called me for First Wives. So I'm still like, I just want one national commercial, Lord. So now I get a call. They put me on hold for Progressive on Friday. So I got the whole weekend to think about it.
Just to think about it, yeah.
They didn't pick me. Lord Jesus, they didn't pick me. They didn't pick me. I need to do some illegal things to get some money because I'm broke. Like all kinds of...
Oh, man. I mean, that's how our mind works. Because look at, we have Emmys, and we still walking around. I do this to myself, too. Like, but the thing is, like, we still have those moments where we're like, damn it, what's going on?
This was Emmy, a couple of months before the Emmy, but the Crown Kids about to come out. So I pay for all my books so I can own 10% of it. That's business. So I can own all of it. And so I'm like, I need money. What is it? So now the Monday comes. They call me at 9 o'clock. Like, what's your size? I'm like, oh, I got it. They're like, no, we just looking for sizes. You're close, but we don't know. You'll hear something before 5. So 5 o'clock comes, I didn't hear nothing. 7 o'clock comes, I didn't hear nothing. So I said, you know what? It's a blessing to even be where I am.
Yeah.
So let me just go to BJ's and play on a video game or something, arcade, and get back into my
job. Get your mind out, yeah.
And I got a call from my agent at 10:30 at night. And she said, did you get your email? And I was like, no. She's like, you booked it. So here I am. I'm like, yes, one commercial. So I go for the fitting and everything, and I'm like, yes, one. And it was a whole week of fittings. They came to my house at 12 a.m. to fit me in this contraption. And I said, yo, this is a lot of stuff.
It's like a commercial.
A lot of stuff for a commercial. And they said, oh, no, you're doing 5 national commercials. And I was like, cool.
And you just asked for one.
I just wanted one commercial, a national commercial last year. I'm like, please, that would just put me on board. And the lady was like, no, you're doing 5. And we went out there the next week and we shot 5 national commercials. And the paperwork, it said number of commercials, 5 national commercials. And I'm like, whoa. And now this last February, we shot 7 more national commercials. And then this last week, I did 7 more radio spots for it. So the Motor is a whole situation. So it's
that's exciting because, like, I mean, come on, there's so many people out here who would just love to just have something like that, and and they have to keep putting it out there like you're doing. But the fact that you were like, God, I just want one, and then you start to see how sometimes we just don't dream big, like right in the moment.
Even when we think we're dreaming big, we're still doing this.
Okay, and then God goes, no, 5.
Because I was excited just to be nominated, but we're just doing we're doing this, but to actually win, I'm like, oh, I won. And now from one commercial to almost 19 national commercials in the spokesperson. So it's like, oh, wow. But here, if I wanted, if it went my way, I would have had one little national commercial. Not little, because all commercials.
I know what you mean.
But just one commercial, because I was still putting myself in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. So now with everything that's going on, I always say, and Tabitha Brown, she's a good friend. She said, I heard that she said,
hey, wait, hold. Let's pause that. For those who don't know who Tabitha Brown is, she is. Why don't you do the honors? Like I follow her on Instagram, and I love her vegan recipes. I'm a vegan vegetarian, but this guy knows. He knows everybody. Okay, Miss Tina Knowles, Tabitha Brown, who just signed with CAA. Come on, you just saying like, oh, Tabitha down the street, the neighbor, but that's probably who she is to you, though. Yeah. But I saw you guys the avocado toast video. It was so cute. It was nice.
The avocado toast, like me and Tabitha, we met maybe a couple years ago. I was in my dark moment, and she said she was injured as well. She was sick or whatever. And we met on a project or whatever. And she was one of the sweetest people that you ever met. Like, we just connected. And then she was Ubering. Her story is so amazing because Tabitha's always been that way. She's not putting on anything. That's who Tabitha is. And when my mom passed, because her mom passed, and the week before my mom passed, she was telling me about her mom and how she left dimes everywhere, whatever. And so I started seeing little dimes going, oh, Tabitha. So my mom passed. Tabitha was the only person who called me and was like, look, this is going to be hard, but you got to get back on your throne because you got some work to do. You have to keep going. And so she's just always been that amazing voice of reason and just sweet. So she calls me to do her podcast. I'm like, of course I'll do it. So I step in the room and Tabitha's like, Emmy Award winning Terrence. I'm like, Tabitha, cut it out. Like, because like, cut it out, whatever.
Those are the kind of friends you need, though, because I have friends like that, and sometimes in the moment I'm like, oh, here we go again. But I do love the love they have for me, you know.
Yeah. Like, so, and I'm like, you're doing amazing things. She was like, you're doing amazing things. And so we just sat there, and that's who we were just sitting there laughing and playing and talking, and it's effortlessly just like being her in my tribe and me and hers. If she needs something, I'm gonna drop whatever I gotta do to make it happen. And it reminds me, some people now, they'll even get like a little co-star role or something, they start changing. So this industry shouldn't change you. You should come into this month and change it.
Amen.
Not just about you. And when you actually enlarge your territory and let other people come on your territory to open that up and give them lanes, you'll never have to work another day in your life.
I know. It's because you just need one or two people in your corner, and they will just bring you around and have you in their shows, on their set, and their plays, and just everything. So that's real. That's real. Because I see it a lot. You see how people will like work with the same people all the time, and how they just want to be on set with them. Well, I could spend 6 months in New Zealand with Cherry or with Terrence, and that's what people don't understand sometimes.
You go to a producer session, it's not about, oh my God, this is the one. They want to see if they can work with your ass, be on set with you for 12 hours. Like,
exactly.
I want to deal with. They're not just like, oh, no, is this somebody I want to deal with for 12 hours for 6 months out of the year, back to back, and then season 2, season 3, season 4. So it's like, always treat people the way you want to be treated, and you'll be surprised. Those same people who was your PA, Howie Mandel's son was my PA on the show. I was nice to him. I was like, yo, sit down, relax. He's like, you need water? I'm like, sit down. Next thing you know, months later, he got me my first agent. His mom was my first agent, like big agent, Abstract. So it's like, you never know.
Never know.
But at the same time, don't change who you are just to quote unquote get over. Just be your authentic self. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and keep God, the universe, whatever you call that little voice, keep it at the forefront of you, and you'll never have to worry for anything.
Look at amen. Look at you jumping. You say number the word. Okay, I should add pastor to the list. We got singer, author, actor, Emmy Award winning actor. We're gonna put deacon or pastor down at the end. I love it. But like you said something earlier about seasons. So what's going on with the reoccurring role in Bosch? Is that how you say it?
Yes, Bosch.
Okay. So so we're gonna see you back in some other seasons? What's going on?
One more season. So his name was Marvel. Yeah, that guy. And I had an accent. So.
Yeah.
A little goddaughter Hey, she was like, Terrence, Uncle, you got an accent. It sounds so good. I'm like, cool. So, you know, when the kids tell you it's good, it's good.
Yeah, because they're truthful.
So Bosch season 7, I don't know, but they're a really, really, really good team, really amazing team. So hopefully Marvel will be back for that. Bigger is going to season 2. We'll see where Reggie comes. First Wives has got season 2. So Winston, I think it's.
But that's the blessing. Cause you're like, I'm on so many TV shows.
Oh, but
so many TV shows, I can't remember the characters. They're starting to blend in.
His name was Wesley.
This is amazing. I have so many TV shows going on. I can't remember my characters' names.
So Wesley, I guarantee he'll probably be back second season. But Saturday,
yes,
Sunday on.
Oh, you're frozen again. We gotta get you. You froze up on me again. Go Saturday. You're about to say Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday.
The 17th.
Okay.
I was blessed to work with Ruby Rhodes of CW on Batwoman. So,
yes.
So I'll post it after probably today.
Okay.
I'm going to do a little live there because you inspired me to do a live viewing.
That makes me so happy because let me tell you this. I'm so glad that we said this. You said that because per our conversation about what I'm working on and how I'm being stretched. It's one of those things where I just get in my head sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, it's cheesy. What's going on? And for me, you're saying I can't think about that. But the fact that I inspired you to do that makes me happy because I'm like, these are cheap. Who's gonna watch these? No, you start to be your own worst enemy.
And when you think nobody's watching, that's very second somebody's watching. You're inspiring people that you don't even know. People are at home right now looking up to you. You little black girls or any little girl is looking up to you because you are setting a presence for them. So exactly. Like they're looking up for you. I have people in Mississippi who are praying for me I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like it's a village. It takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village. But Batwoman's coming out and then Monday.
Yeah.
Progressive commercials will come out.
Yeah. That makes me so excited. I mean, because every time it comes on, I just get so I just have so much pride because one, you're from the village and and it's like a national commercial and 5 and up to 19, and to see a black man with that, because you brought up Old Spice earlier. That's one of how many. There's not that many national commercials with black men or black women. So for you to be part of the progressive family is opening doors because you don't see that every day in commercials.
That progressive, they're a family. Like Trisha, the head CEO, if you search with her, she started in the in the call center, and she worked up. So here I am sitting with them, and it's just $1 billion company, and she's like, "Oh, get my cell phone number," and they're sending me wishes during the Emmy, saying somebody needs to win, so why not the best? You should win. I'm like, oh, so they've taken care of me. At the same time, the motor, if I didn't do that self-reflecting and quarantining myself 3 years ago, I would have been ready for progressive, because the motor is all about, they were the confidence, he knows who he is. He's the people are looking at him weird, but he's looking at everybody else like, you're in my world. So it was everything that I've already processed in my journey. So it's amazing. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Well, talk to me. We're talking about everything that you've been doing, which I love, but we haven't talked about Junebug.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about Junebug and the inspiration. You're playing a father role, and how is it different from the other roles? Because that's completely different from what you've done so far, right?
Yes, and so CJ, he actually worked. He was a producer on Giants. Mm-hmm. Why you need to always be nice, be on time, know your work, and be ready to bring something to the table. Don't just show up. Bring something to the set. Bring something to the table, not just yourself. I'm here. Where's my water? Where's my trailer? Bring something to the set. CJ called me. Maybe I was on my way to the barbershop. He's like, I have this role for you, and it literally is you. Can you read it? It's for a pitch that we're doing. I'm like, okay, let me read it. So I'm sitting in a chair and I'm reading, and it was a story about this man who was a drunk and going through his own artistic battles and his relationship with his little daughter. And so I'm in a barbershop. By the time I get to the end of the page, I'm tearing up. And I'm like, I gotta do this. So I get there and I meet in the funny thing about it, the girl who played my daughter, I knew her 3 months prior, not knowing her. I was coming out of Wingstop, and I always